Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate a great deal you working with us to make this hearing happen. I really am grateful for that. I would say, though, that guidance to wear masks are one thing and committee rules are another. There's no question that in this room right here, we are well beyond the guidance that the CDC recommends, and we have had some who are not here today because they feel as though we are too strict in the requirement of the mask. And so I would ask as we go forward that we would continue to work through this to see how we can accommodate all members who would like to participate in hearings within the CDC guidelines as well.
I will, as I have on having a hearing and physically, my friend knows I will work as diligently as I can with him. I will, however, note that the committee is following the guidance of the Capitol Hill physician, who more than strongly recommends the wearing of a mask. It isn't just CDC guidance. We also, well, so we will try to work through that with you, and I really appreciate all of my colleagues trying to respect everybody's health and safety today.
Right, and I know you will, and I look forward to those further conversations, but in behalf of the others who feel a little bit differently, I would appreciate that continued conversation. Thank you very much. And I also appreciate, Mr. Chairman, the fact of you holding this particular hearing on federal IT modernization. I think we are all very much aware of the need for modernization in this area. The lack thereof certainly exposes us to security risk as well as the inability for flexibility and scaling up, and ultimately our agencies are incapable of meeting the needs and the responsibilities they are required to do. And yet we as a government continue to spend a majority of our budget on maintaining these legacy systems rather than taking us into the new era of computer needs. For example, from 2010 to 2017, over $450 billion was spent just to keep legacy systems running. And of course, that also represents $450 billion that was not able to be used for new technology. So, and at the same time, of course, technology continues to move forward and improve while we are slow to procure any new capabilities whatsoever. So it's time for us to look at reform. It's time for us to look at changes. How do we go about getting up to date? There's no reason that we don't do so. And so I very much look forward to our witnesses today and appreciate you being here as we try to consider ways to reform the IT acquisition process and to prevent agencies from trying to reinvent the wheel, particularly when potential solutions already exist in the commercial marketplace. So specifically, this committee is interested, I believe, in learning how and what Congress needs to do to help agencies overcome some of the challenges that are presented by annual funding cycles that frankly makes it very difficult to tackle as it relates to IT modernization. So I'm hoping today that our witnesses will be able to help this committee understand how we can improve this whole process, and particularly the Technology Management Fund, to help the government replace legacy systems. We've got to become more modern and up to date rather than continuing to rely upon agile old systems. And finally, I think there's got to be some accountability in this whole process to keep agencies responsible for the progress that they're making. And of course, there have been many hearings we've already had on the FITARA scorecard. Somewhere along the way, though, there must, it appears to me, be some sort of incentive that must be involved to help agencies come along and to improve. And so I look forward to hearing all these types of things as we move forward with the hearing today. and I'm hopeful that you'll be able to supply some of those answers. And I want to again thank all of our witnesses for being here today as we participate in this hybrid hearing. Mr. Chairman, with that, I'll yield back.